11:05, Wednesday, February the 2nd. Good evening. I'm Bob Conway. In Chicago right now, partly cloudy. And the winds are out of the west at 3. The temperature is 10 degrees. No wind chill at the moment at O'Hare. However, that is expected to change with winds picking up over the next few hours. In fact, there's a wind chill advisory in effect until tomorrow morning. Clearing, bitterly cold. AccuWeather says low 8 below in some of the suburbs, 2 above at the lakefront. And tomorrow, sunny, breezy, and a high tomorrow of 14 degrees. The News Watch continues at 11:06. Chicago's Office of Emergency Management held a news briefing earlier today on the response to the blizzard, as well as questions, many of them, about all those drivers who were stuck on Lakeshore Drive. WBBM political editor Craig Dellamore says it's still not clear when the drive is going to be open.
At the emergency management briefing, Chicago Public Schools interim CEO Terry Mazzani confirmed that the schools will remain closed for a second day Thursday. But one thing, he says, much of the staff still can't get to work, and some schools have no heat as extreme cold is upon us. Mayoral Chief of Staff Raymond Orozco handled the other pressing issue, saying it was his decision to keep Lakeshore Drive open as long as he did. Hundreds of motorists were stranded for hours on the drive Tuesday night when accidents brought traffic to a standstill.
The question was, do we eliminate Lakeshore Drive as an option, which would have required essentially diverting thousands of cars into the downtown and lakefront area, which could have further challenged by ongoing current construction projects? Or do we keep close watch and monitor for dangerous situations while allowing the drive to remain open and take pressure off the main arterials downtown that our emergency vehicles utilize to access the lakefront?
Orozco notes that there were no life-threatening injuries on the drive, and he feels this was the best possible outcome under the circumstances. Craig Dellamore, News Radio 780 WBBM.
So at this point, it's still not clear when Lakeshore Drive will be open. The city, by the way, says anybody whose car was abandoned or stranded on Lakeshore Drive and is looking for it should call 311 for information about its possible location. Office of Emergency Management and Communications Director Jose Santiago is urging people to stay off the roads for a while yet, if possible.
Be patient. City crews are working hard to keep up with the storm and clear the snow as fast as possible. If you absolutely must drive, slow down and yield the right-of-way to emergency vehicles.
And Santiago is also advising pedestrians to stay off the streets, even though they may be easier to walk on than the sidewalks. He says wind makes it difficult for pedestrians to hear cars coming up behind them. WBBM News Time, 11:08, and we'll pause here for traffic and weather together on the 8th. And first, for the traffic update, Stephen Haas.
Bob, just got off the line with Vernon Hills Police, and they're telling us Route 60 is blocked right around Butterfield. This all because of a car versus train accident, and I'm glad to report the driver wasn't fatally injured, and they were fatally killed in that, well, it's a little redundant, killed in this situation. The driver's okay from what officials are telling us. Inbound side of the Eisenhower around 25th. Crews have put out a car fire there, and we had an earlier stall inbound side of the Dan Ryan right around 47th. That's been cleared as well. Folks, one thing to keep in mind, the roads are better, but they're not perfect, and because of that, you do need to exercise extra caution if you're out and about tonight. You may see the road doing fine for a couple of miles, and all of a sudden the right lane disappears under snow, and then a little further on, maybe the left lane is out of commission because of snow or icy conditions, something of that sort. Still pretty rough out there. I know those crews have worked really hard to get the roads back in great shape in considering all things all the snow that we had. So they've done a great job, but it's still not perfect, and you need to use some extra caution out there tonight. Watch your speeds. Over in northwest Indiana, they had to close down the exits to Burr. That's affecting both sides of 8094. This all because of a large amount of truckers trying to get into the truck stop there. A lot of them run out of hours or have been on hiatus for the last 24 hours and trying to make up for lost time. So they've got their work cut out for them as well. Same story in northwest Indiana regarding the roads. 8094, there's dicey spots. Some spots are good, and some of the ramps are kind of crummy too, but they're working on that as well. I-65, same thing. Side streets, well, they're still pretty snow-covered and slick, and that goes for the entire Chicagoland area. Get traffic and weather together on the 8s every 10 minutes on News Radio 780 WBBM.
Wind chill advisory in effect through tomorrow morning. Clearing, very cold tonight. Could get down to 8 below zero in some of the suburbs and as low as 2 above at the lakefront. Mostly sunny, a high 14 tomorrow. Normal high is 31 at O'Hare 10, Midway 13. The Aurora temperature at 4 and the downtown reading 18 degrees. West breeze at 3. WBBM News Time 11:10.
If your business can be said to be going places, we at Porter have a proposition. Get there faster. By cutting down on travel time when you go places for business. Flying Porter shaves 2 hours off travel time to and from Toronto because we take off and land right downtown. And getting through Toronto's city airport's a breeze. All of which means you get down to business sooner. Book online at flyporter.com. Porter. Flying refined.
WBBM News Time 11:11, and the News Watch continues. Very little in the way of operations at O'Hare or Midway earlier today. Just a handful of takeoffs and landings at those two airports. The Chicago Department of Aviation says the airlines canceled more than 2,200 flights at O'Hare, over 400 at Midway. The airlines say they anticipate a more expanded flight schedule resuming tomorrow, and you can check the status of your flight by logging onto our website, WBBM780.com. Authorities say they're investigating whether the deaths of at least 5 people during the blizzard were weather-related. WBBM's Lisa Fielding reports.
The body of a 60-year-old man was pulled from Diversey Harbor hours after authorities were notified a person might have fallen in during the blizzard. The man either was blown or fell into the lake. A 44-year-old LaSalle County man died after leaving his stranded car along a rural road and apparently tried to walk home in the blizzard. Lake County authorities say a 48-year-old man who was found inside his running vehicle in Grays Lake appeared to have died from natural causes. Police in Lyons say a 58-year-old man died late last night after collapsing while shoveling snow. And in Barrington, a substitute teacher died from an apparent heart attack while leaving school. The teacher was walking to his car in the Prairie Middle School parking lot when he collapsed. Lisa Fielding, News Radio 780 WBBM.
A number of Chicago buildings suffered damage from the blizzard. Among them, Wrigley Field, where a small fiberboard panel blew away from the roof. A column collapsed in a vacant building in the 4700 block of North Maplewood. And in Rogers Park, inspectors responded to a report some sort of sign blowing in the wind on West Devon. Chicago's Office of Emergency Management and Communications says none of the storm-damaged buildings posed a threat to the public. WBBM News Time 11:13.
I'm child behavioral therapist James Lehman. I know you need the Total Transformation Program to turn around your child's behavior.